guys, Brittany here, and guess what? I finally did it. I finished A Tale of Two Cities. Okay, it took me like forever, and I'm super sorry that it took me forever to get to this, but I mean, the beginning was kind of boring. There's like 3 sections, 3 books, and the first 2 were just like, bleh. The third one was like really intense, and it went by really fast. Actually, when I was reading the third book, I couldn't put it down, so, you know, that's good. And my cousin did tell me, this is one of her favorite books, and she's like, yeah, the first 2 books are really slow, but the third one is super intense, and she was right. So, overall rating. Okay, well, let's start with the characters. The characters and character development, I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I liked most of the characters, or I hated them, but not, you know, like, oh, he wrote a bad character, I hate them, but like, who he wrote is supposed to be hated, and he did a good job writing them, so I hate them. Like, Madame Defarge, and in the beginning, Jerry Cruncher, but character development there, because I hated Jerry Cruncher for abusing his wife, and then at the end, he, you know, changed, and is like, if we ever get out of this, I will, you know, let my wife pray whenever she wants. So, that was good character development. I don't give it a 5, though, because, I'm sorry, forgive me, everyone who loves this book, but Lucy Manette, she was like a fluff character to me. She didn't, excuse me, she, like, I don't know, she was too weepy, and she didn't seem to have much of her own free will. She just kind of went along with what everyone else wanted, or what other people said, and, I mean, I guess I'm just used to reading books with strong female characters who take charge and kick butt. So this was just a bit different for me. And she just wasn't my cup of tea. So I didn't really care for her, and so I only give the characters a 4 out of 5 stars. Plot I give a 3 out of 5. It was very intricate. You've heard me mention in my other videos that sometimes I was like, why are we reading about this? This has nothing to do with anything. Get to the good stuff. But then in the end, in the third book, it really all tied together, and everything made sense, because there were some pieces I was like, what do I care if Jerry Cruncher is, you know, robbing graves, or what do I care about this little wine shop, or this woman knitting, like, so in the end, it all tied together, and it made sense, so that was good. It was intricate, but just for me, it was too slow. It took too long to get to the point. It's like, build up, build up, build up, build up, and then this, you know, this tiny thing happened. Whatever. Like, it wasn't climactic enough or something. I mean, yeah, I know, the ending is pretty intense, and it was like, oh my gosh, but, it wasn't written big enough for me, I guess. It was written very small, and compared to, you know, the rest of the book, I just think it should have, it could have been done better. I don't know. I'm not saying I could do it better. I'm just saying it's just not what I was looking for. It wasn't enough for me. So, yeah. Plot only gets a 3 out of 5. And you know, okay, everyone knows this quote. I've heard it like 1,000 times. I had no idea it was from this book. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. I had no idea that was from A Tale of Two Cities. Just my bad. Oops. So, anyway, one thing I do kind of want to talk about is the reason that I read this book is because of another book that I read, a series actually, The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. That's Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. They are like my favorite series ever. I absolutely love Cassandra Clare. Her writing is just, I love all the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments, and I am about to, hopefully soon, buy another book that her and Holy Black wrote together, but that's a completely different story. But anyway, in the Infernal Devices, 2 of the main characters, Tessa and Will, read A Tale of Two Cities, and they often talk about it. And Will Herondale, who is my favorite fictional character of all time, he compares himself to Sidney Carton in A Tale of Two Cities. So, even though I was not a fan of Dickens, and I tried reading this book before in high school and couldn't get through it, I decided, since I love Will Herondale so much, that I wanted to give A Tale of Two Cities another try, and that actually pushed me to actually finish the book, even though it was a struggle to get through because it was so boring, and it took me so long. I powered through and finished it because of you know, the Cassandra Clare books, and that actually, I think, adds a whole other level to my reading, because it wasn't just, okay, this is happening, blah, 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 Sidney Carton, whatever. It was, oh, this is Sidney Carton. This is how Will Herondale sees himself. I really want to understand it and delve into it and see what's going to happen because of that comparison to my favorite fictional character, Will, and one of my favorite series ever, The Infernal Devices. So, by reading this, it made me want to read this. And I guess that's pretty cool to me, to make all those connections. And it made the book a little bit better for me, in my eyes, just because of that connection. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Next up, I'm going to read The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. It's the first in the series, The Heroes of Olympus. I have read all the Percy Jackson and the Olympians books, so I wanted to read these. I know they've been out a while, but I'm excited to read that, so stay tuned for updates on that. And let me know if you guys have read A Tale of Two Cities and what you thought about it. I'm really interested to know. Or let me know if you've read these books, because they're amazing, and if you haven't read them, go read them. So, that's how I feel about that. That's what's coming up soon, and thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember to smile, Starshine.